Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a little thirsty Thursday up in this bad boy, and the weather is gorgeous. Man, I'm telling you, it is the beginning of our 48-hour Friday. And I don't know if you know, but I'm a little fired up today. Had a lot of fun down in Oxford last night. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. How about that hotty-toddy? Rebels stole one from Tennessee last night. Pavilion was bumping. The basketball was awesome. And definitely we are going to talk about it. We'll talk about the SEC as an entire whole. Like, I'm serious, SEC fans, out there in this world. I know there's a bunch of them out there here in Memphis. We got Arkansas fans, Rebels, Vols. Heck, we got it all. Alabama fans even. Mississippi State, Gator boys. But right now, as you sit here today, we're 10 days away from Selection Sunday. That's right, 10 days away. And everybody's going to be pulling out them brackets and getting all fired up. My question is pretty much all year long we've been saying the SEC is not just a little bit, but are by far, head and shoulders above everybody else. The best conference in basketball. No, I'm not sitting here saying that they're not the best conference in basketball. But I am telling you, as of today, I'm kind of thinking to myself, the SEC is straight up fire. They're going to get everybody and their grandmother in. But are they going to have tournament success? I mean, it's win or go home. And as strong as I think the Southeastern Conference is, everybody's a little flawed. I mean, we watched last night Alabama. Man, can they score. They can score like a bunch of crazy folks, but on defense, they look like they insane. You had Tennessee, who just pulled that one off at Alabama last Saturday. They go down to Oxford, fall apart, lose by 2. We saw a very flawed Texas A&M team, very flawed, drop Auburn. I still think Auburn's the team to beat. I really like them Gator boys. But I'm telling you, I remember when everybody got in on the Big Ten, they had 1 seeds galore. What happened in the tournament? Are they setting themselves up? Are we setting ourselves up to destroy our own brackets? Because we're going to have the SEC all over the place. And again, Ole Miss is a good basketball team. But they're not special. Chris Beard's done a hell of a job. But it's not like I look out there and I say, damn. Oh, my goodness. Look, Malik Dia is a beast down low. But he's also extremely undersized. You can get at him down low. If Ole Miss doesn't hit their threes, they're not doing it. They have to steal a lot of balls. They play, a tough style. But it's not like when I look at the Rebels, I just have fear. If Alabama's hitting their threes, they're scary as hell, but their defense is terrible. We talked about the Wildcats all year long. They don't play defense. So, this is, you know how it is, man, with NIL. A lot of older teams out there, a lot of mid-majors, a lot of teams from other conferences. This is where, these brackets could get buck wild with the SEC. And then right now, also, what SEC teams are going to be on that wooden seed? How bad did that hurt Tennessee last night?
John, did you see that Jerry Palm updated his bracket after Auburn lost? And he said even if Auburn loses to Alabama on Saturday, he would still have them going into the SEC tournament as the number 1 overall seed.
Wow, even over Duke.
Even over Duke. He said their resume is so much better than Duke.
Damn heater. I agree the resume is ridiculous. But there is something about playing your best basketball at this time of the year. I mean, Houston's hotter than Cooter Brown. Right now, I got Duke and Houston definitely getting 1 seeds. And I'm thinking Gator boys and Auburn. I think Tennessee and Alabama have shot themselves in the face. And Nate Oates, by the way, I mean, all the excitement around Alabama basketball, and they might be limping into the tournament on 3 straight losses. And Alabama, like I said, this team can score. They just can't play defense. I don't know. I feel like the SEC is again, Mississippi State, they're a good basketball team. They beat Memphis. They're big, they're physical, they rebound, but they're flawed. The Wildcats don't play any defense. The Pope's kids are pretty good, but I'm not sitting there going, man, I know this team's going to get on a run. The Rebels, man, they're going back to the tournament. Man, you know how long it's been since the Rebels hung a banner for basketball? I think like 2013. Let's be real. This is a basketball program that is starved for any success, and they're having a good damn year. 10-7 in the SEC. Tip of the cap, Chris Beard. But I'm not scared of them. I mean, Dennis Gates' boys at Missouri. I like this basketball team a lot, and this is a team that could be Elite Eight or out in the first week. I don't like A&M, even though they just dropped Auburn. I mean, they got to get a lot of free throws because they take it to the rack and they basically throw it off the board. But you got some bigs down there that can rebound them, and they're not getting 17, 20 offensive rebounds. They're not going to win. Vols go cold all the time. Do you trust their offense? Rick Barnes is a great coach, but do you trust him in the tournament? Been a long time since that man's been to the Final Four, and he hadn't done it with Tennessee. Did it with Texas long time ago. Right now, the 2 teams that I have the most confidence by far are Auburn and, of course, the Gator boys. But I can't sit there and say they're head and shoulders above Houston or Duke. It's going to be fun. We are 10 days away from Selection Sunday. Still a lot of stuff to be decided. I'm looking forward to these tournaments. And speaking of tournaments, do y'all realize we got women's basketball on right now?
Sure do. And we have men's tournament starting in less than an hour at noon. We have a game.
The little bitty baby boys.
It's like a Missouri Valley or something like that.
Yeah, the baby boys is what I call them. They're fun, though. They're fun. Fast-paced little thrillers. There is a big one, actually, tonight. Not a big one, but one I'll be paying attention to because of Memphis. I mean, I need Michigan State to go to Iowa and roll. Roll. Ole Miss helped Memphis, I think, last night by beating Tennessee. But, yeah, we got NCAA women's basketball we can gamble on. The Tennessee Vols are playing Vanderbilt right now. You got like Boston College and North Carolina. The girls are playing hoops, and you got games. Like we got games on right now, but we got more games starting at 12:30. You got Georgia and Oklahoma. 2 o'clock, we got Omaha and South Dakota State. 7:30 tonight, you got Florida and Alabama. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. A lot of good basketball. And again, we've been talking a lot of the tournament. But I feel like yesterday was dominated by the NFL ticker. We're going to talk a little bit of NFL football because, by the way, if you don't know NFL, it is absolutely king. But also, before I get over here to the NFL, I did want to tell you the Sissy Log Cabin text and listener line, 901-360-8255. Life's too short for ordinary jewelry. Tell me what you think about the SEC as a whole. Like, are they going to be so physical? Are they going to be so tested through this regular season by playing on each other that when they get to the tournament, they're just head and shoulders better than everybody else? Or is this thing going to get tight? I didn't even mention Arkansas. Again, talk about a flawed team. They go to Vanderbilt and beat the brakes off them this week. And then the weekend before that, they go to Columbia, South Carolina and get smoked. I don't know. I will tell you, though, the more basketball I watch, the more I do feel good about the Memphis Tigers' chances. And I know that I am drinking the Kool-Aid because danger is Just watch yourself. My man left, right, 7 feet in, money. I love me some PJ. Like, I feel like with those guards, with Danger playing at this level, they will be a hell of a tough out in the NCAA tournament. But in the NFL, yesterday was pretty much dominated. The ticker is crazy. We got now Mel Kiper dropped his new mock draft. We got teams letting go of studs. Got a lot going on. And I have to say, one of the biggest things, has to be like, have you looked at what the Steelers have done lately? They don't have a quarterback on their roster. Did you know that?
No QB.
Nah. Nada. What the Steelers going to do, my man?
Look at Aaron Rodgers, right? He and Tomlin respect each other from reports, so. But why would they do that?
Bro, Mike T needs him a quarterback. Like,
do you not like Fields? That's the route I would go. Fields is younger. He was playing well.
I don't know. I think right now, you got to sit there and say to yourself, in all reality, yes, he won some games last year for this Steelers team. Russell Wilson won some games for that Steelers team. But damn it, Russ's twilight, he ain't the same. And then it just doesn't feel like Justin Fields is ever going to be effective enough throwing the football on timing routes and playing from the pocket to be a starter in the National Football League. He's got a lot of Marcus Mariota in him. They tried when my man came out of Oregon to make him a pocket passer. Did it ever work? No. Sometimes it just does not transfer from college to pro.
He was 6-4 as a Steeler.
Again, he won football games. But Mike Tomlin, Kenny Pickett won football games. Mason Rudolph won football games. Hell, Tommy DeVito won a football game with the New York Football Giants. It's tough. NFL's legit. But do you think that Mike Tomlin is looking to have a bottom 10? If Justin Fields was the starting quarterback, would you even have him in the top 20?
No.
But
I also think if you don't get one of the top 2 quarterbacks, you're going to have a bottom third-ish type of quarterback as well if you're drafted.
I mean, Sam Darnold didn't get tagged. Aaron Rodgers, yes, he's out there. Hey, Gardner Minshew got released.
Oh, yeah, of course. Man, they had 9 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
The Gardy party. No, I mean, that's, again, I feel that Justin Fields and Gardner Minshew aren't much different. And what I mean is, can they play in the NFL? Yes. Are either one of them going to win you football games? No. They play the position differently, but they don't do it the way you need to do it to be consistent through a 17-week regular season in the playoffs. That is just not what they are. They are not going out there and winning games. Think about Joe Burrow and what he plays from the pocket. Lamar Jackson, what he brings to the quarterback position. We know about Patty. If you ain't bringing it.
Sounds like they won't have a quarterback this year.
Oh, they going to get somebody. They got to have an idea of something that they're going to do. We just don't know it. I'm just trying to figure out what is it going to be that, what is it that's going to take these Steelers who are always, Mike Tomlin is going to have a winning record. They're going to make the playoffs. But they haven't won a playoff game since 2016, and Justin Fields is a guy that I don't think is going to get them over that damn hump. What do they do, though? I trust in Mike T, but damn.
Doesn't have a lot of options.
It's...
Unless he moves up to take Cam Ward.
I mean...
But that ain't the Steelers' MO.
We're going to talk about the quarterbacks, too, because I like Mel Kiper and some of the things that he said. But not only did the Steelers, I'm looking over at Pittsburgh and thinking to myself... And by the way, we also have to remember something. Pittsburgh is in the division with Lamar and Joe Burrow. Do you know what I mean? That AFC North. Cleveland is a dumpster fire. I'm not bringing them up, but they still play good defense. It's a black and blue division. But if you're the Steelers, you got to know that, damn, we got to, play Baltimore twice, Cincinnati twice, and they got Joe Burrow, and they got Lamar Jackson, and we got nada. They got to figure it out. But then you also have, like, did you hear about DK Metcalf? He wants out.
Yes, he wants out. I say he lands with the Chargers.
Man, DK, bro, like,
3rd round pick, he'll end up with the Chargers. Resign, get his money. They just let Bosa go. They got a couple of coins.
I mean, I would tell you though this, like you said, 3rd round pick. I'm still confused. Like the Kansas.
That's the most I'm giving up for him.
Hold on, listen. I mean, hold up. That, you know what? The Bears gave the Chiefs for a future Hall of Fame offensive lineman in Joe Toney. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what they gave?
Was that a 4, right?
A 4th round pick. Like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, dude, he got a 4th round. That's it? And then what? San Francisco got a 5th round pick for Debo?
Yep.
Like, these draft picks be valued right now.
Oh, so you're going less than a 3rd?
Man, I don't.
What?
Mm-mm.
What are you going 5th for DK?
I mean, I'm saying, you know, I'm not. I'll do a 4th round pick, something like that. Yeah.
Man.
By the way, speaking of the Steelers, you know they need a wide receiver too. Might want to look at DK and find a deadgum quarterback. Dude, do you think, like, would Pittsburgh do something like bring in Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams?
No, but I hope San Francisco does.
San Francisco might have the Bosa brothers playing on the same team.
Yeah,
the
Mom.
Chargers
You're about
got
Mom?
rid of Joey Bosa.
Their mom got online and said, San Francisco, put my boys together. Hopefully they listen to Mom. I'll take a Bosa. Give him a 1-year deal, 2-year deal.
They be, man.
One on one side, one on the other. Mr. Fred in the middle. I do it.
Fred is nasty.
Hey, and kudos to you. When you gonna pat yourself on the back for calling that shot yesterday?
Which shot?
Dallas.
Oh,
Did you talk to what's the owner's name?
Jerry.
Jerry. Did you talk to Jerry Jones or something? When that happened, I was like, John, look at you.
Hey, Jerry.
Because I'd be damned if they did not restructure the 2 guys that you called yesterday. And after you said it, this was not an hour after you said, this was like evening time. And I get the news and I'm like, look at Johnny Money.
Look at, dude, I'm telling you,
They
manifesting.
restructured exactly what you said. They, what,
I told
56
you.
million?
Mm-hmm. I
Now?
told you what
Yep.
they were going to have to do, and it only, by the way, makes sense. The other
You're in
thing,
the Cowboy brass. That's
just
what
to
it is.
kind of also mention a little something about the Cowboys, how in the hell you still ain't signed Micah Parsons?
You got the
Because
money.
the ticket just went up again yesterday. Did you see the deal Max Crosby got from the Raiders?
Yep.
What's
What's it, 38, 39 million?
Highest paid player, not a quarterback, NFL history. That dude got 3 years, $106.5 million. Again, the
Tell them
highest
they guarantee. You got the guarantee?
non-quarterback.
You got the
Shoot,
guarantee?
$74 million.
It was 91.
91 million. That's right. Oh, it was Bond.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, and also look at what the Eagles did yesterday too. Speaking
just-
about that, and by the way, like back to it before I get off because my ADD will work in real quick. Dallas again. Micah Parsons' price just went up. Like, don't do what you did to Dak last year. Wait to the very end and make him the highest paid player, and like you did Dak. Like, Lord, I know you're saving some money. I know the cap went up. I know you have a carryover of $30 million from last year. You got $300 million. Why don't you do me a favor and go lock up your dude? Get him off the podcast talking ish about the deadgum franchise.
With all due respect to him, Max Crosby is way more valuable.
Dude,
Way more valuable
I
than
love
Parsons.
Max.
You taking Parsons over Max? I'm not.
Man, Max's motor is on another level.
Yes. It is
And-
Jared Allen-esque.
Yeah, Max is just, his motor is on that other level.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to bending around that corner, Micah's
bend
got
it
that
back.
bend,
Yep.
baby. The only bad thing about Mike is I don't think Dallas has figured out necessarily how to use him.
Should use him like Khalil Mack. You remember when he was
Man,
first team on the line and
dude
linebacker?
put that man on the edge and just go.
He's an all-pro anywhere you put him, but I ain't taking him over Max. He's emotional. Gets on podcasts, whiny baby. I'm good.
By the way, if they get Joey Bosa, what are they going to do? Don't they have Leonard Floyd over there in San Francisco? Like, isn't he playing that other defensive end position?
He is. I don't know if he was a free agent after I checked.
The Bosa boys coming off that edge. And then there's also
Yep,
Brock.
he's still with San Francisco.
And there's also Brock Purdy news. Like San Francisco, what do you think about them coming out and basically saying, hey, man, what about $45 million a year?
That's good. He better take it. You made $2 million.
They said that his camp is looking more towards like 51, 52 a year.
I'm going to walk his camp to the door, and I'm the 49er proponent. Don't do this to us. You were making $2 million, sir. In less than that, probably. $900,000.
No, he spent
like
his whole damn check last year on his
wedding.
offensive line.
He got married to it. All that
Like,
stuff.
dude, man, last year, Brock lost money playing football. He bought his entire offensive line, those little trucks, remember? Altogether, it was $900,000 he spent on his offensive line.
Yeah, that's his salary. Yeah, man.
And then he also got married. And, like, that ain't cheap. But he is going to get paid. And I will say, I think the Brock Purdy slander's a little vicious.
It is, but he doesn't deserve that amount. I mean, he probably does, but
listen,
it ain't worth
I think if he does the Tom Brady route, I would say take me up $45 million every year. Don't lock me up for 3, lock me up for 4. Extend it out a little longer. More guaranteed over a longer period of time.
I like you if you're his agent. You're
And
talking
here's
about,
what
yeah.
you're saying, though. But right now, you know one thing. Brock Purdy, you get Trent Williams out there on his left tackle. He's really effective. Brock Purdy, when he's got healthy wide receivers and Christian McCaffrey running the football, very damn effective. Without him, man, not quite. But I understand that when you are getting hit like you're Caleb Williams every damn time you drop back,
You got to
it's
know.
hard to play from the pocket.
You're only going to have Trent John for 2 more years. Like, Trent is old. He only got 2 more if in the tank, if that.
Oh, I know, but you're going to have to sign somebody. You're going to have to spend some money, save it with him. And again, Brock Purdy, I do think, in all honesty, Kyle Shanahan gets more credit than deserved necessarily for the San Francisco 49ers offense.
I know, because his dad should get it all. I told you his dad has an office there. That's his offense.
I mean, yes, but I'm pretty sure he knows it, and now he's calling it. Dad's, spending probably still about 2 hours a day in a tanning bed. Like, is he the original Orange Man?
Original, yeah.
He was the original, wasn't he? Like, nobody even, like, I almost honestly believe that Donald Trump saw him when he was playing football one day and said, I like the look.
Can you believe it?
I love the look. I'm going with the orange. I'm serious, bro. Mike Shanahan, that man was. But Brock Purdy gets way too much slander. And dadgummit, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm late for a break already. We talked with Isaac Simpson on Thursday. You know what we're going to talk about, don't you?
Yeah, Ja and his emotions.
I haven't even mentioned anything about the Grizzlies yet because, baby, I'm saving it all for Isaac Simpson. Plus, we'll touch on the Tigers. And then at 12 o'clock, we got Evie Van Pelt to talk about them Red Bulls, a little SEC action. And then at 12:30, I got some good wood for you. Don't you dare touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When you're working outdoors, unpredictability is the norm. So tackle the toughest jobs with the 2025 Honda Pioneer 7. This rugged side-by-side lift powered engine already with reliable torque towing and smooth shifting through trails. And you can choose between 3 trims: standard, deluxe, and the Trim Timber Force Edition. Ultimate Hamilton Adventures. See the 2025 Honda Pioneer 700 today at the Sale Honda, 5657 Mill Road, or
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Tax Help USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-364-4142. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Help USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-364-4142. 800-364-4142. That's 800-364-4142.
I'm Sean Sewer with XMC Technologies, your local source for the best in office technology for over 30 years. We believe that being a technology partner means meeting our clients' needs as they change over time. That's why I'm happy to share that we are now Visual Edge IT. As cyber attacks continue to be a growing threat, our customers are asking for more cybersecurity and ransomware protection. For more information on how to protect your office, visit us at visualedgeit.com or call us locally 901-737-8910.
Online radio show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Nancy Porter with 24/7 Sports. Former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC sports ball, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Garvey. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show. Right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Yo, 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 welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, man. Oh, it is a Thursday. It's the start of our 48-hour Friday. I'm feeling good. We got hoops 10 days away from Selection Sunday. Got to talk about them Grizz. We got all kinds of goodies to talk about. We were talking earlier, though, about the SEC. And I was asking everybody, man, like Alabama got beat by Tennessee. Then they just got beat by Florida. Now they got to play Auburn. They could be having like 3 straight losses going in the SEC tournament. We saw Tennessee after beating Alabama, losing to Ole Miss last night. We got Auburn losing to a very flawed Texas A&M. I asked y'all about what you think about the SEC. We talk about it's the best conference period, but is it built for tournament success? Because there's a lot of flawed basketball. Everybody's kind of chimed in here today. Got a bunch of people always saying that, overrated the conferences as a whole other than the obvious. Auburn, Bama, Florida, the rest don't make it past the first weekend. Looking at the Gators and Auburn in the Final Four. A couple other people out there saying, don't forget, Auburn was really good last year but lost to Yale in the first round. We got a few more texts, people talking about different teams in the SEC. Keep that stuff coming. I want to know how you feel because basketball is almost here. And don't forget, you better take off work when the SEC tournaments – not the SEC tournaments start. When the NCAA tournament starts, you better be off like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and just at home drinking Tito's and gambling. You know what I mean? And watching hoops wall to wall all day long. I know my man Isaac Simpson's smart. I'm sure he's going to be off. He'll be working, but, he'll be working watching basketball, and that is some kind of work that I want. Isaac Simpson, how you doing this beautiful Thursday?
Man, I'm doing good. How you doing, Johnny?
Man, I'm doing really good. The weather's great. Basketball's almost here. Fired up like you wouldn't believe. And, all that stuff is good. And then I look at the Grizzlies, and I say, damn. Right now, Isaac, I haven't even mentioned anything about the Grizzlies because I know you've been mentioning a lot. Everybody, you should follow him at Isaac__NBA. That's right, at Isaac_NBA. He's on there talking all kinds of business. Isaac, what are we thinking right now after 4 just gut punches at the crib?
Man, it's tough right now, man. And you look at the situation with Jared, and he's down with a grade 2 ankle sprain, which can be 3 to 6 weeks. And that's you're looking at sometime in April, probably possibly to get him back. And I mean, they're just in free fall right now. And I think only lost 2 games in a row, maybe once before this, and now they've lost 4 games in a row, all at home. That's a tough spot. They're in a free fall, man. They're falling from the 2 spot all the way down to 4. Just a little, I think maybe a game above Houston for 5. It's just not a good spot right now. And you listen to Jai after the game. He's saying he's dealing with shoulder soreness. He was asked whether that was something that he's got to deal with for the rest of the year, and he just simply said, "I don't know." And that kind of leads me to believe that the answer is yes, that he's just not healthy. I mean, you can see him after he's taking these jump shots. He's wincing in pain. He's not 100%.
Nope.
I think a lot of people kind of ask the question of why he's not been the player that we used to see, and I think that's a big part of it. I just don't think he's healthy at all, and that shoulder situation is something that I think it could be possibly something that could linger for the rest of his career. If he's having shoulder issues, he's had surgery on it, it's still sore now, man. I don't know, man. I don't feel great about the trajectory of where this franchise heading right now, and I kind of hinted at this after that 21-22 season that summer, that I just didn't like the way that they were doubling down on youth. I felt like that's the best team. I still feel like that's the best team they had in this era, that team that lost to Golden State. I really do think if they're healthy, I think they beat Golden State, possibly go on to the finals in that year. I don't know if they beat Boston, but I think they would have ended up in the finals. I think they've just been kind of searching, trying to get back ever since, and I think it's becoming kind of clear now that, which has been clear to me for a while, I don't think Taylor Jenkins is the guy to get them to the promised land. If they ever get to the promised land, I don't think Taylor Jenkins will be the guy at the helm. There's just so many mistakes and mismanagement in games down the stretch. Just doesn't have a great feel for the game, and I think he, as a coach, doesn't do anything to elevate this team. I think he actually cost them at times. I think that there are other coaches in some of these close games that they have, like some of these games on this 4-game lose streak, for instance. I think another coach, I think they probably win some of those games.
You made some good points. I was paying attention to your Twitter because I always love it, especially when you were talking about Dylan Brooks. And I think this is kind of like right now a lot of people are like, man, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
They were number 2. Like they had the second best record. Bad things happen. Last year wasn't his fault. This, and this. And listen, I am not out here just to throw Taylor Jenkins under the bus. I am out here just to how many times have you seen it? Phil Jackson twice had to be brought in to get over that certain hump.
Exactly.
Like that's just, that's sometimes just how it is. I hate to say this, but Mark Jackson, Golden State was good with Mark Jackson. They went to another level under Steve Kerr. So this is just the evolution sometimes of basketball teams, young teams. The message can get old and stale. But I am going to say, the Dylan Brooks example that you dropped, I think is the Dylan Brooks that we're seeing in Houston, you never would have got that out of him here with Taylor Jenkins as his coach. No,
you would have. The Dylan Brooks, that people are looking at Dylan Brooks from afar and saying, man, we shouldn't have let him go, man. Even in hindsight, I would still move Dylan Brooks. I mean, that last season, man, was just late in that season, just the egregious shots he was taking and making the comments about LeBron. I mean, they made the right decision. The problem is they just never properly replaced him. Like when they went out and got Marcus Smart, I was never, even though in a vacuum I liked Marcus Smart, I knew at that point if he was still the player that I think most Grizzlies fans kind of continue to think he was during the time he was here, Boston would have never got rid of him. He was damn as good at that point. He had the hip injury, and I knew because it didn't make any sense. Because first of all, Dylan Brooks is bigger. Dylan Brooks 6'6", 6'7", and you're trying to replace him with a 6'2", 6'3" guard. It never felt like the right fit to me, and it even went worse than I thought. Like I knew that he would probably have injury issues, but I didn't think he'd turn into Chandler Parsons, and that's kind of what we saw with his team. I mean, Jay Huff has played in more Grizzlies games than Marcus Smart had over the year and a half he was here. That lets you know how bad that situation was. So I just think it wasn't
crazy.
so much about
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Jay Huff has actually played in more Grizzlies games than Marcus Smart. But like I said, it wasn't about Dylan specifically. I see a lot of people say, they should have got rid of Dylan. It's just that they never brought in any vets or any other culture setter type guys to replace him. I think they made the right move with Dylan. It's just that they didn't properly make the moves they need to make going forward after that. And I think that's what that is in that situation.
Now, is there a chance that this team pulls out of it? Because right now, everything feels today. Like, we're sitting in it. I mean, you have 3 games where you lose at the buzzer. I mean, the OG from the Knicks. Then you have my man De'Aaron Fox, doing the whole, like, putting it in your eye, Jalen Wells. And then, like, the turnover with Desmond Bain. And then, like,
man,
the throwout.
that's Harris LeVert walk-off. I mean, that was just rough.
That just was like, it was just such, like, those were 3 just gut punches. And then yesterday, that was just, like, that wasn't a gut punch. That was just, we're a lot better than you. Like, a lot better than you. So,
I mean, that definitely puts it in perspective, man. When you go up against an OKC Thunder team and you're looking at this like, this is where we need to be, and we're nowhere near there. I think even healthy, man, I don't think that they can mess with that Thunder team. And that's not saying that because most people can't. I think that Thunder team has a great chance of winning the title this year. I really do think. I think a matchup against Boston would be tough, but I think they have a chance. That team defensively is just on another level. I think that's what sets them apart. You got SGA, which is a parade to the free throw line. You can't even look at the guy without it being a foul call. I mean, it's just hard. He's good enough on his own, man. You don't need to give him 20 free throws. I mean, that's just almost impossible to deal with. And they get a great whistle, just not even just SGA. The entire team gets a great whistle. Jalen Williams goes to the free throw line a lot as well. So it just kind of puts it in perspective. It shows you, man, that you're probably not anywhere close. I don't even think, again, healthy. I don't think this team – I just don't have a lot of faith in what this team can do in the playoffs this year. I mean, if they get a matchup, if they're fully healthy, I think I think they could beat Minnesota. I really do. A lot of people disagree. I really do think they would beat Golden State. I'm just not a believer in that Golden State situation. I think they made that move for Butler out of desperation. I wouldn't be surprised if they get out of the first round. I just don't believe in that. I don't think he moves the needle enough for them. They're not winning a championship or anything then, and that's the only reason why you go make that move. If you think you have a real chance of winning a championship with the age of those guys, I don't see that. But outside of that, man, I think most of these matchups would be tough for the Grizzlies. OKC, I think Denver would be extremely tough. It's just they're in a tough spot, man. The Josh situation, he probably really needs to be shut down. I know he's been out so much. He kind of said last night that he probably shouldn't be playing, but I think he knows he's been out all this time, suspensions, the injuries. He doesn't want to sit down again. But from the way he was talking last night, that sounded like probably what needs to happen. I don't think that's what's going to happen. But if he's not at peak of powers, man, this team, even with Jaren back and all the guys playing, they need Ja to be superstar Ja in order for this team to do anything special, man. I just don't know if we're going to get that this year.
Like you need him. Like right now, you got 3 straight games you lost at the buzzer. You need Ja in there in those big moments to do what big stars do in the NBA. And you look at Oklahoma City; they're by far the best team, I think, in the West. But when I do look at everybody else, even the Grizzlies, like the Grizzlies right now are just going in the wrong direction, and bad news continues to happen. But, I mean, also, like, the Dallas Mavericks, that's their next opponent.
Yeah, they're toast.
They're completely in, like, I don't even know what the hell's going on with them. The Sacramento Kings right now, I don't understand. They're actually playing good basketball during this little stretch. I don't believe in the Clippers. I know James Harden, my kinfolk, had 50 points the other night, but, like, Lord, don't believe in them. Minnesota, like you said, Golden State's old. Can they do it? Is the Butler, Steph thing going to actually work out? Rockets, I don't know. But it's like, the Lakers, even though like they're the hottest team, won 7 straight, and Luka and LeBron look great, is that going to work in the postseason? I love the Denver Nuggets, but they don't have much depth. Like right now, like as bad as it feels to be a Grizzlies, other than OKC, like if they got healthy, like they got a shot.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Lakers things. I was having a conversation with some people yesterday, and they think the Lakers are going to the Western Conference Finals, man. I guess if, like you said, the Grizzlies can't get healthy, the Lakers team, I still think the front court
back. We got 20 games left in the season.
Yeah, so something like that.
Man, we got to get right over this month, man. I don't know, man.
I think the front court issues of the Lakers are still going to be an issue. I know they think Jackson Hayes is looking all right now, but it's a different story once you get into those playoffs. I mean, it's not the same situation as the regular season. So I still think that's going to be an issue with the Lakers. I think Dallas moving out of the way, I think opens up a lot, because I think with Dallas, if they had Kyrie and they got AD back and Lively and Daniel Gafford and all those guys got back healthy, I think they had a real chance of challenging OKC. now they might not even make the playoffs. With the way it's looking now, they're really slipping. So with them out of the way, it does open up some things. Because I think OKC is obviously at the top, but like you said, after that, I mean, it's kind of, I guess right now I would say the Lakers would be their second team, but it definitely changes the landscape because I felt like OKC and Dallas were two teams that the Grizzlies would really have problems with, and now it's just OKC. I think if they're fully healthy. So I mean, you're right about that. I just don't know. Like I said, with Ja, it just doesn't sound like he's going to be that guy with any consistency this year. I feel like this might be kind of a lost season for him.
Been a tough 2-year stretch for Ja, man.
Yeah, it's just tough. A lot of it's self-inflicted. I mean, it started with his own off-the-court stuff, and I think that's the reason why.
I still blame it on one thing, dude. Why you got a videotape in a shake joint? Like, who has a videotape?
Yeah, I don't understand. Why is his friend recording him in the car?
Yeah, why is
when
that?
He's got something going, that just doesn't make any sense to me, man. But anyways, we are here. Here we are, man. I hope he can get back, man. I hate that all that stuff happened, and he's in the spot he's in because he's on a trajectory, man, to be the face of the league. And now, man, it just feels like a lot of people, especially just nationally, have kind of forgot about him. He's become a meme that you see all these tweets of people joking about him, and I just hate that we're kind of in this spot right now.
And the crazy thing about it for me is like I feel like the average NBA fan is so starved for somebody like Ja because we love the high flying. Like everybody, listen, this is a crazy thing. I saw this stat the other day, man. The Denver Nuggets shoot the 3-pointer less than anybody in the entire NBA this year at like 31.6 threes a game. That was the 2012-2013 Golden State Warriors who won the champion when they led the league, how many they shot. So everybody's like shooting the three. I understand threes more than two. These guys can stroke it. But we like I can shoot a three-pointer. But I sure as hell can't jump up and fly through the sky and dunk and do all the the highlight. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, remember when he dunked? Who was it that he dunked on that it didn't count, but it was so filthy that you just
Wemby.
Wemby, yes. It was like for 3 days you were still talking about it. Like when you hit a big 3-pointer, you ain't 3 days later going, bro, man, dude, did you see that Ja dunk, man? My Lord. You know, it's different. So they're so starved for him. It's just like right now it feels like he can't get out of his own way. And then just like, it's like that cloud. It's kind of like Linus from, what was that, the Snoopy thing. Man, everywhere he goes, he's got a cloud ever since last year. And now he's just having injury issues.
Yeah, and I think it changed his game because, I mean, he's talked about not dunking anymore. But he's having the issues with the refs every night. He's going back and forth with the refs. He doesn't want to dunk anymore. And I think, I was thinking about this last night, I think part of that has to do with the injury. I think he's saying that, but I think that shoulder he doesn't want to go down and tear the rim off with that shoulder because he's scared he's going to get hurt. It's just, I think he has a lot of mental stuff going on, just fighting within himself and all the stuff about him losing his place in the league. I think all this stuff is weighing on him. I think he's worried about, again, the injuries. I just think he has a lot on his mind right now, man. And you will see moments like we saw at the end of that Phoenix game where we saw that looked like vintage 12. And then other nights he's just not that anymore. I just don't think he can do it with any consistency, and that's my worry. I'm just hoping that he can get back right physically and mentally because I don't think he's there on either side right now.
How do they keep the ship afloat right now with Tripp hurt, with Ja banged up, everything that's going on with this team right now? Can they stay afloat?
Well, they have a few games here coming up in this next stretch that if Ja plays, they should be able to win there at Dallas on Friday. That's a mess right now. That's a game they should win. At the Pelicans on Sunday, they're 17-45. You should beat them. Suns, you're 3-0 on them on the season. You got the Jazz before you play the Cavaliers at home. So that's 4 games right there, man, that you really should win all 4 of them. But I think in the situation that they're in right now, you take 3-1. But I think maybe they can get something going there. And hopefully Tripp can get back sooner. You don't want him to miss the 65-game threshold so he can try to make All-NBA Defensive Player of the Year. So he needs to get back probably in 2.5 weeks or so, I think, to make that. So we'll see how it plays out. But I think that they definitely, these next 4 games, man, they almost have to have. Because, I mean, if you start losing some of those, you're going to look up, man, might maybe find yourself in the play-in, which would be crazy, man, because we were in the 2 seed like a week ago, and you're talking about, man, possibly dropping to 7-8. but that's a real possibility because they got any game that they're favored to win in, which they'll probably be favored to win all four of those, even in the situation they're in now. You got to take care of business there because then you got Cleveland coming up after that, man, and not being healthy, trying to take on a Cleveland team. That prospects are not good there, so they got to take care of business in the games they should. And next four games, they'll probably be favored in all four of those.
Well, the crazy thing is like after this stretch, and by the way, this is like their next little stretch is like the fan bases, the only fan bases that are probably more upset than the Grizzlies fan base right now. Every person in Dallas they can't stand Nico, they can't stand their team. They got rid of Luka, AD's hurt, and Kyrie just blew out his knee. And by the way, just so you know, just to mention on that, think about this. Like I feel like Dallas, who was in the finals last year, and who everybody thought was pretty damn good this year, like they are now, I feel like, in a complete rebuild because AD is old. Kyrie won't even be ready till the middle of next year. Yeah. So, like, the AD Kyrie window, I feel like, is kind of just in 3 weeks after the trade has basically the window has just been wiped out. Like, what?
Yeah, I feel like the window, the reason, if you're going to justify it all making that deal, which there's not much justification for it when you look at long term, I think was really rooted in this year and next year at the most. I think their opportunity was to try to win a title this year with that, and that's just out the window now. And like you said, Kyrie won't be available until sometime in the middle of next year. AD's always hurt. I mean, at this point, I don't even know why you'd bring AD back. I probably would even, I guess, maybe just appease the fans a little bit, maybe to see him play and play well, but I don't really even see why you'd bring him back now because it was kind of questionable when he went out whether he should have surgery or not. He opted not to, and they would bring him back at some point. But at this point, I don't even know why bring him back. He'd probably do better trying to get a lottery pick.
Man, yeah, you trade him right now because, like, what else is he? Like, Plastic Man, street clothes, whatever you want to call him, is going to be injured again next year. You better, like, actually, right now, Nico, you better go ahead and just get rid of him now and try to work something out and try to salvage something because that Dallas just went to the wrong direction.
Man, that is a tough situation, man. I wouldn't want to be Nico, man. And today, man, I don't even know how he chose his face in the city, man. That's a tough situation, man.
And then right now, like you said, the next four are all winnable. Dallas, New Orleans, that, pour their fan base. Phoenix, man, they went in with the big three, and the big three failed just like it did over in Brooklyn. Utah is Utah. But after that, they have a tough stretch. I mean, you got Cleveland, who's the best in the East right now. The Kings have been playing great basketball. OKC, Lakers, Boston, Golden State, all four in a row. Like, damn, Detroit's been playing great basketball, and you got Denver, Minnesota left. Like, this last little stretch is brutal after these four little gimmies. But I thought those three at home, Friday, Saturday, and Monday were gimmies, though.
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at their road trip, like, I looked at the way they were 0-2 against OKC, the way they had gotten beaten, the same thing with the Knicks, the way they got blown out the Garden. I was really looking at this home thing, and I was like, man, they really need to go 5-0. If you were a contender, the three games they would have been favored in. Like Phoenix, Atlanta, and San Antonio. You thought for sure, okay, they win those. The tough ones are the Knicks and OKC, and you're thinking, okay, man, if you're really what you're supposed to be, the way you got beat by those teams, man, you're at home, you're gonna try to get some revenge on those teams. And I was like, okay, 5-0, 4-1 at the worst, man. And here we are. They've only won one game. Went 1-4. On his homestand, man. That's just brutal, especially when where they were at the standing. You had an opportunity to kind of put some wins together, try to get some more separation, man. It just went the complete opposite way. And again, it's sitting up at the 4th seed right now. Looking at this, only one game up on Houston for the 5 seed. And again, man, you even need to start looking lower than that with kind of what's going on now. I mean, there are 4 games ahead of Golden State. That sounds like a lot, but I think you got a couple matchups with Golden State left, so you're not out of the woods even with dropping lower than that, man. So these next 4 games, they really need to win all 4 of those. I think if they can do that, I think they can right the ship enough to, I think, where you can stay inside the top 4, and that's really, I think the goal right now is staying inside that top 4. At least you'll have home court advantage in the first round if you're playing like a Houston, and I think that could help you advance into the second round. But once you get into the second round, I don't have a lot of confidence in this team, but like you said, man, if they get healthy, I mean, you could get Ja back to the Ja that we know. I think they have opportunity to get anybody. I'm not super confident that we get that this year.
Yeah, just don't feel like it's going in the right direction. Last but not least, man, I've been like making everybody sad and blue. I'm sorry, but speaking of blue, how about them Tigers, baby? How about them Tigers? I hate the bracketologist right now because it's driving me absolutely insane. Like, I mean, 7-8, 7-8.
Yeah,
Like,
I think this. I forgot what site that was. BPR or some site had them 7 and 8. I'm like 7 or 8. I'm like that's just ridiculous, man. With what they've done in Q1, Q2. Like I don't believe. I believe they're a 6. I believe if they went out, I believe they're a high 6 possibility, low 5. I think with Memphis, I think it ends up being a 6, so they just don't get a credit. I don't believe 7 and 8 though, man. That if they went out and win the conference championship, that's a travesty. If they end up 7 and 8, if you're what would that be 29 and 5? I mean that's just ridiculous, man. 2 losses, and it doesn't matter how bad the AAC is, man. It's hard to go to a conference and only lose 2 games. I mean, especially when you're 100 every night. These teams are getting up for you every night, man. It's hard to go through there and only lose 2 games, man. And really. Look at that one, man. That Wichita State game went to overtime, man. That God, I wish they could have that game back.
And they just threw that one away. Like,
yeah,
Lord.
I mean that's just. But I was down in Birmingham on Sunday, man.
That was
great
awesome.
Atmosphere. Yeah, great atmosphere, man. Tiger fans, shout out to Tiger Nation. Took over the stadium by the end of the game. I mean, you would have thought you were at a Memphis home game, and UAB had the ball late in the second half. It was defense from the crowd. Let's go Tigers. I mean, it was a great atmosphere, man. Just a great win. I mean, they went in and. Excuse me, on a tough environment, man, and came out with a win. And that's why they let the games like UTSA. I know it doesn't look good when they're in these close games against these bad teams, but I've been of the opinion that if the opponent was better or you have something on the line, this team is going to show up. I think they've proven that. We saw it in the non-con. You saw it both times they played UAB. I mean, they dumped them early. For some reason, FAU, I guess name-wise, I guess they feel like that's something, even though they haven't been as good this year. They really performed both times they played against them. I just think this team, when it matters, I think they're going to show up, and that's why I kind of forgive a little bit of some of the struggles against these teams. These teams are coming out. That's their Super Bowl. I think the Tigers are kind of looking at this like we're just trying to get a win, man. These teams are playing like it's their life depends on it in some of these games, and I just think it's kind of hard for them to get up for some of these teams. So I think the Tigers are going to be fine, man. But yeah, man, that 7 or 8 seed, man, that's crazy, man. Looking at the season they have, so hopefully they can get a 5-6. I'm still holding out hope for a low 5 if they. And I think Penny said today that he felt like 5 should be their floor. But I'm thinking it probably ends up being a 6 if they don't lose another game.
Man, I can live with that. He is Isaac Simpson. He joins me every single Thursday. Follow him at Isaac__NBA. Always tune in on a Thursday. Isaac, be blessed, man. Thank you for your time and enjoy this nice weather. Get out there and enjoy a little life because we're going to be locked up for about a month watching basketball.
Man, yeah, man, it's going to be fun, man. Thanks, man, and I'll talk to you next week.
That's my homie, Isaac Simpson. I'm hungry. Los Cabos. Summer and Graham, baby. Right now, you got from 10 a.m. every single day, 10 to 3, lunch specials, $7 to $11. The food is straight fire. If you want the flavors of Mexico to melt in your mouth, there's just one place to go, and that's Los Cabos at Summer and Graham. We got Evie Van Pelt on the other side. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Sports 56 and 95 FM.
Preseason pool spa and patio event is going on now at Family Leisure for the first time ever. Unbelievable savings. You want a pool? They're starting at just $19.99. How about a spa? They're starting at just $29.99. Patio furniture sets are starting at $7.99. Cold plunges and swim spas are just, well, what? I can't even say those prices. But I will say they're priced to move. There are so many deals going on right now during the first ever preseason pool spa and patio event. You've got to come in and see the savings for yourself. But wait, there's more. You can register to win either a free pool, a spa, or a patio set. Yes, a free pool, spa, or patio set. Just stop by Family Leisure to sign up. This is a first time ever preseason pool, spa, patio
so many benefits, you gotta talk fast.
T-Mobile Home Internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on
Get $55 a month and T-Mobile $845.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home in Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
You know, if I had a nickel for every time somebody has recognized me as the spokesperson for Central Barbecue,
One of the spokespersons.
one of the spokespeople, I wouldn't have a nickel because we do these for the radio. But I'm proud to be the spokesperson for Central Barbecue.
One of the...
You know what I mean? I'm proud because all of us who do this have had to do ads for things we didn't necessarily believe in.
Yeah, I know I have.
I know you have too.
Hey.
But we get to tell everyone about Central Barbecue, the best barbecue in Memphis.
In the world.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Goodman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't the only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for a limited range time. Free gun rentals with purchase of ammo and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road, TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
This is Kelly Erb with Mark Spensdorf Realtors. I have worked with Sheldon Rosengarten for over 10 years and have noticed something about the way he works with his clients. He is way too honest, and they are grateful for us for pointing out things they were not aware of.
This is Sheldon, and yes, being honest has caused people to really think about what they need to do to sell their homes or when they buy. Kelly and I have advised people about what are the best and most economical things to do to prepare their homes for the market to get the best prices.
And Sheldon, we always provide our buyers with the necessary background research to advise them before they make an offer on a house. And yes, we have even sometimes talked clients out of buying, and they're grateful for us pointing out things they were not aware of.
So if you're thinking of buying a home, call or email Kelly or me, and before you list your home, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure we are one of them.
Yes, remember to call me, Kelly Erb, at 355-3830.
And when you want the job done, call Sheldon or 30546 or MemphisRelocate.com. Call us today.
56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis with Brett Mooresworthy and Bryant Dacus. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
That was one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a 48-hour Friday. I love me a little 48-hour Friday. And you know what? It's after 12 o'clock. That means it's not the morning. It's not called morning drinking, it's called day drinking. And if you gonna have a little cocktail, make sure you have the best spirit in the world, man. Oh, it's not even close. It's Tito's. It's USA vodka. It's crafted and distilled down in Austin, Texas. 6 times distilled before it's distilled in classic copper pots. It's got such a unique flavor, slightly sweet with that black pepper note. It balances everything out. You could be crafting a cocktail, or you can just drink it neat. Tito's. I love it. So do you. And plus, if you like dogs, you know how much I love dogs, right?
Absolutely.
Tito Beverage, like if you're a dog lover, nobody does more for dogs. Like he's like a vet on steroids. Like, you know, vets do a lot of good stuff for dogs, but he's not a vet, you know what I'm saying? But he pays a lot of vets' salaries. He's rescued over 600 dogs. Just him. That's straight up balling. Get your Tito's on today, and especially when the NCAA tournament starts. You know, it's a Thursday. You know, we got Evie Van Pelt from the Rebel Walk, and talk about a great day to have her. It's always a great day to talk to Evie. But, man, after Ole Miss beat Tennessee last night, it's just a little extra special. Evie, how are you doing on this beautiful Thursday?
Oh, I'm doing great. I tell you what, it's just unbelievable. It's been a great week for Ole Miss fans, and it ain't over yet. So we got a lot going on and a lot that's gone on, and you were there for the big game. That was awesome.
Golly, I had so much fun last night. It was a heck of a ball game. And some of it, like right now, like just this week, like Tuesday and Wednesday in the SEC has been buck wild. Go back to Saturday. I mean, from Tennessee's buzzer beater beating Alabama. Auburn losing to a flawed A&M team. Ole Miss kicking Tennessee in the teeth. Like, this is just like, whoa, it's wild.
It really is. And that game last night, I mean, the Rebels just kept fighting. I mean, they get punched in the mouth, and they just get back up. And Jamin Brakefield was doing a lot of punching back, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. And the fact that Ole Miss is as undersized as they are, but they play extremely hard, physical, and big, and they were battling with those big boys at Tennessee.
They were, and, you know, it didn't matter. Tennessee had their big guy trying to guard Brakefield, and then I think they tried getting other people to guard Brakefield, but, man, going to the basket, he was just almost unstoppable. I think, wasn't he 8 of 9 yesterday? So, just unbelievable on senior night. And to score, you know, to come out in the second half and score all his points in the second half was just something else, just something to see. So, and the women get started today in the
yes,
SEC
they
tourney.
do. They're out there in Columbia, South Carolina.
That's right. And they start off with Mississippi State, so they're going to start off with a bang in the SEC tournament. And they're coming off a really big win in Baton Rouge over LSU. So
it's always fun watching. I like Kim Mulkey, okay, but like when she loses, I don't know why. Like, she is hilarious to watch.
She is. The expressions on her face are hilarious to me. She's just something else. Her eyes and her movements, and you know, Coach Yo talked about after the game how what it meant to her to beat LSU. That, you know, before Texas and Oklahoma came into the league, she said the only two I have not beaten were LSU and South Carolina. So it was a big deal. I mean, anytime you can beat Kim Mulkey and you can beat them on their home court in Baton Rouge, that's unbelievable.
Now the Rebels are having the women Rebels are having a heck of a season. 10-6 in the SEC is straight up ridiculous. What do they need to do to get a real good seed here in the SEC tournament?
Well, I tell you what, I don't know. I mean, I think that are you talking about the men or the women?
The women. I'm talking about the women. They got to beat Mississippi State today, number one.
Yeah, they've got to be. Well, you know, it's funny. The latest bracketology came out. Coach Yo actually sent it to me this morning. David and I were out eating breakfast, and she sent it to me, and it's got Ole Miss as a 4 seed. So that's Charlie Cream Yeah, he's got them a 4 seed, and they would be, it looks like, in the same bracket. They'd play Florida Gulf Coast first, and they'd be in the same bracket with number 12 Fairfield and number 5 Ohio State. They'd be a 4 seed, and being in the top 16, they would get a couple of games at home in Oxford. So I know Oxford would be excited about that, as would Coach Yo. So I think that pretty much, I think that win over LSU really showed a lot. You know, that I think probably sealed. Now, if they went in and lost by 30 in the first game of the tournament today, of the SEC tournament, sure, maybe somebody would rethink some things. But the crazy thing is, Yo's team is likely a top 16 team in the NCAA tournament, and they are unranked.
And that's what I was like, literally, that's what I was just thinking to myself. Okay, so we talk about how great the SEC is in the men's game right now. Is the women's game even more dominant? Because, I mean, like, you got Tennessee, you got Alabama, you got LSU, South Carolina. Like, I can go on for a minute that are all ranked.
Well, yeah, you know, and it's crazy because I think in the SEC tournament, Ole Miss is a 7 seed. I mean, they got a bye. They didn't get the double bye that you get for the top 4, but they're 7. And they're a fantastic team, and they are seeded 7th in the SEC tournament. So that really, you know, that tells you something about the league. And I just think it's really, really, really exciting to see both the men and the women kind of get over that hump. You know, they had some really close games where they just were not able to get over that hump and come out with a win. So to see the Rebels do that on, you know, like I say, both men and women was just unbelievable. And, you know, you got to be so happy for Jamin Brakefield and Matthew Morrell on the men's side. You know, they were the players that
closed out their career at the house, like the Pavilion with a win like that at Tennessee. I think is like that's just is going to be a special memory forever.
I was just going to say that's going to be something they think about all their life. You know, I mean, I as we talked about before, you know, David remembers going into Austin and A&M beating the University of Texas for the first time, and I think maybe forever in Memorial Stadium when he was a quarterback. And I mean, all these, you know, 50 years later, you know, you don't forget that. You just don't forget those things. So, oh, what a night, you know, and it was cool. You know, they said, could you have written this story? And Jamin immediately said, I didn't write it, God wrote it. And I thought that was really cool, really sweet.
That is awesome right now. And also right now, Chris Beard's got to be feeling a little bit better. Like pulling that one out. I mean, like that's kind of crazy getting ready for the SEC tournament. And what do you think about the SEC as a whole right now? Because it is so good, but this is gonna I feel weird. So maybe you can talk me off the ledge. And it could be just because of, you know, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday have been so wild. I mean, Auburn is still the team to beat. Florida looks extremely, extremely good. I mean, you got 3 trio of 7-footers. I think the best backcourt in basketball. Like, they are ridiculous. My man, the Golden Shower man, he's doing pretty good over there. Mm-hmm. But if you look at Nate Oates right now, they don't play any defense. If the 3 ball is not hitting, they're very flawed. When I look at the SEC, I see a lot of great teams. But do you think this helps, like, for postseason success? Because there's also, you know, like, as good as they are, there's a lot of flaws.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't know. I mean, I was looking at it. I was looking at the standings, and so you got Auburn 15-2, Florida 13-4, Alabama 12-5. Then Tennessee 11-6, and then the Rebels. They're the Rebels coming in, you know, right there, I guess, 5th. Tied for 5th at 10-7 with Missouri and A&M. And I look ahead of Ole Miss, and I'm like, okay, the team right above them, Tennessee, they just beat. Team above them, Alabama, Ole Miss beat. And then the second place team is Florida, and Ole Miss plays them Saturday. So
I ain't looking too forward to that one. I'm really excited today about my Rebels. That Florida team scares me.
They scare me too. I mean, I'm like you. Ole Miss, if they were undersized against Tennessee, what are they going to be against Florida? But you know, it's funny because Chris Beard talked about that. I mean, it's like, is is a win probable? Maybe not. Is it possible? It dang sure is. And he said, he talks about this a lot. He said, we don't talk about, this is for the NCAA tournament. He said, we don't talk about making the NCAA tournament. We talk about winning the NCAA tournament. And I thought what was really cool, I think he's kind of evolving maybe as a coach as he matures. Last night you were there, you saw, did you see him
get on the mic?
Standing up and looking for his players and the court
yeah.
storming and finding Brakefield and just giving him a hug. And, he said he usually goes to the locker room, head straight to the locker room. And he said, but something in him, made him want to enjoy that moment, enjoy, as some of his players say, be where your feet are. And so I thought that was really cool that he enjoyed that. And I'm like you, I do. There are some flaws, but I also think, man, there have been some fantastic competitive games, and I can't wait for March Madness because I think it's going to be fun to see. And like I say, Ole Miss has beaten the number 3 team in the conference and the number 4 team in the conference and plays the number 2 team coming up. And I mean, it's like he says, it's what you do in winning time. And yesterday in winning time, they did a really good job.
Mm-hmm. They sure did. They stole that joker last night. That was nice.
They did.
They stole
They
that.
did.
That was like some theft.
What were you thinking at the end? Like, what were you thinking on that final shot?
Oh, I thought it went in, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, when he, like, I was like, no. And then everybody was cheering, and I'm like, am I blind? I am getting older. I was like, because I thought it went in from my angle, and I was like, oh, my Lord. But they
were you
held it.
Surprised they didn't call a foul?
Yes.
Like, I'm surprised they didn't call a foul on Ole Miss, even though it looked more like an offensive foul to me. But anyway, I was glad that didn't end on any kind of a crazy foul, because that would have been the worst, like an and one kind of situation.
Go back to the Admiral Schofield, Tennessee game. Like, that would.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you.
So, I will say it was nice, and again, I brought my good buddy Bob, who's the biggest Tennessee fan. So he had to sit with like 7 big Ole Miss fans. But there were a few, the volunteers, how they are. They traveled. They had some, there was a bunch of orange in there. And just to look at their faces, they were in shock that they lost that game. They were like, how did that happen? And I was like, yeah, that was theft.
And there were a ton of balls there.
I know.
Like, I saw a lot of Rebels talking about that. They weren't real thrilled about that, but the Vols were there supporting their team. So, as Miles Battle used to say, though, with Ole Miss football, we sent them home sad.
Sent them home really, really sad. That was fun last night. Like with all the great stuff going on, you got Coach O over in Columbia, South Carolina, getting ready 5 o'clock to play Mississippi State. You got Chris Beard celebrating with his seniors on their last game at home to win that way with Brakefield and Morrell. It was an awesome night, an awesome scene. You got to be feeling good about, heading into the SEC tournament. But baseball, we thought this was Mike's, Mike, we hope you enjoyed the ride. Man, I know LSU and Tennessee are the nastiest things I've seen in a long time. Like, Tennessee hit 3 grand slams the other night. I was like, Lord. I watched LSU go back to back to back a few games ago. Like, they are scary, but Ole Miss they might be as scary as anybody in the Southeastern Conference.
Oh, I agree. And, again, it's funny because to me, this, I can't explain it other than, I was there in Arlington for the opening tournament, and it was there's just a different feel about this team.
Reminds me of them, them Elko days,
Yes. And, it's funny because, again, after the game yesterday, Utermark talked about this, about that. And the team has more fight, more grit. The players are more bought in. They're playing for one another. Yesterday against Murray State, for folks who don't know, yes, it was Murray State, but, they were behind. Ole Miss was behind, not like 7-4, 7-5. Anyway, they fought back to tie it up 7-7 and go into extra innings and, won in the 10th inning. And they fought to the last out. and that is something that I don't feel like they did last year. I don't feel like they fought to the last out, whether it was just kind of a team mentality. They were not mentally strong last year. I don't feel like they were. And it was cool because yesterday, the bottom of the order was coming up when they were in the 10th inning, the bottom of the 10th, and they weren't doing very well. Like I read to David the names of, okay, this is who's coming up, and they're over tonight, and but every single one of them came through, and they were all lefties. David's a lefty, so he was excited about that. But anyway, so just excited for what it shows, not necessarily the win over Murray State, but the fight to come back and win over anybody.
Yeah, and then also, like, let's just be real. Like, I can't wait till SEC play starts, but just having a win like they did over Arizona to start the season, the Clemson beat down where they ruled them, and that Southern Miss win's going to go a long way as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, right off the bat, early on, we're seeing some good things for them. We're seeing some great pitching. I mean, that was something I was a little, suspicious about. Walker Hooks came in last night and ended up getting the win, and that was a big deal. I've told you that's the freshman from Brandon, Mississippi, and I think he showed me a lot in Arlington, and I'm really looking forward to watching him play. But yeah, I'm saying as long as we got Hunter Elliott, okay, we're always got a shot in a series.
Yeah, the pitching,
So,
and we're I think 8 days away from the start of SEC play, and they open up the series at home against Arkansas, don't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. Yeah, so they're off to their best start since the 2022 season when they started 13-1. They're 11-1, and we all know how that 2022 season ended. So yeah, and it's funny, Hayden Federico was the hero of the night last night. He drove in Braden Randall with the game-winning single, and it's of course. A lot of people on Twitter refer to him instead of Federico, it's Rico Suave.
I love that.
I always think that's pretty cool. Rico Suave won the game for him last night.
Rico Suave.
Right.
I like it, man. But this team right now, like, who is surprising you? Because their offensive production, like we talk a lot about the pitching and everything, but man, like you said, timely hits, moving runners over. They're playing like the winning style of baseball. Sometimes you see a lot of teams who just look for the long ball. They're scoring in many different ways.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, I think, if I had to say, like Ryan Moorman, I think yesterday he was 3 for 4. He's really impressing me. And I believe, let me see, he came in from Illinois. He was a transfer from Illinois. And he's just done he's a senior, so an experienced guy. 3 for 4 yesterday, a double and an RBI. Judd Utermark, I mean, he was 2 for 4. He had 2 home runs yesterday, 2 home runs. And
Luke Hill's been doing just a little bit of everything. Like that guy, whenever he gets in the box, you better watch out.
Well, and you know what? They won that game. They didn't have Luke Hill yesterday. He was under the weather, but absolutely. So they didn't have, one of their go-to guys, and they still, did a good job. So I'm really excited. I think Smithwick's doing a good job from behind the plate. The little freshman shortstop, Owen Pano, who's dyed his hair blonde, and the great Rebel tradition of shortstops dyeing their hair blonde. He's getting more comfortable out there. So I don't know. I think what I'm excited about is, again, they have a lot of new players out there, and they, there doesn't seem to be a lot of that, well, it takes a while to gel. We got transfers, we got new guys, and it's just going to take a minute. They seem to be so together, and you just even feel that when you're watching them and when you're around them.
And big old Judd, man, like that swing, he just puts a lot of backspin on that baseball, and the ball travels, and he's got 7 bombs already?
Yes, and Judd is fun to watch, and I think he's already had a walk-off and a steal home. last weekend, I believe. But he's a big. He is.
I think he's like 6'6", 6'5".
250.
And he has a dope
250.
mustache game.
Yes, yes, he does. He's got a strong mustache game. So he's doing a great job. He's fun to watch.
How's everything going over on the football front? I know Lane's always busy. Jackson Dart, by the way, I don't know if it's all true, but it seems like every general manager and every scout's falling in love with him. I mean, I was hearing this was, I thought, fascinating for me because of course everything Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl, so there's going to be a lot of people of course comparing people to who Jalen Hurts is, and I saw one scout. Was listening to him talk on the NFL Network, and he was like, "I'm telling you, I think this is Jalen Hurts with a bet with more accuracy. Did you know Jackson Dart's half an inch taller than him, 6'2.5"? They're both 223 pounds. Their arms are the same size. They got the same size hands. They both got big bases." And I was like, "Damn, that's actually." If you're going to get compared to somebody now, Super Bowl champ, ain't too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I of course, we watched the whole combine and all the Rebels. I think he impressed scouts with his arm strength, his overall accuracy, his deep ball. According to analysts, his deep ball accuracy and precision on intermediate routes were, among the tops in all the quarterback groups. I saw
think Quinn Ewers and Jackson Dart looked the best at the combine
I
for the
think
quarterback
so too.
position. They both really helped themselves. I still don't believe in Quinn Ewers because, again, I watch a lot of football. Too small, people at his feet. He don't like it. But I believe in Jackson.
Yeah. I believe in Jackson. And Jackson, it's kind of like when people didn't know, was he going to throw at the combine? Is he going to do like Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders? Is he going to come in and not throw? And I messaged with his dad and I said, is he going to throw? And it basically, he quoted to me, he said, it has been a dream of Jackson's to throw at the NFL Combine. He will absolutely throw. And like you and I talked about, he ain't scared. And he didn't look scared. He looked like he was soaking in every single minute of that. And it was really, even down to the, I guess I hadn't been paying attention well enough to know they do that throw velocity test. They have him throw as hard as they. And he did great. He did great on that. There have been some that talked about, well, what about his arm strength? He did great. I think he had 58 miles an hour. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, I think, were at like 62. I mean, so he was in the upper, he was in the very top of anybody who's ever done that drill. So, it's funny. There was one draft analyst, Mike Tannenbaum, who was a former NFL exec for the Dolphins, said, I thought he was certainly the best quarterback on the field. I mean, that's a guy who knows what he's talking about. Said in my eyes, he's the number 3 behind Sanders and Ward. Thought he threw with really good anticipation and accuracy. Jackson Dart's clearly number 3 and is going to go in the first round. And we have an article up on Jackson Dart where we spoke with Mike Detillier, who's a draft analyst, and he's been telling me since the Senior Bowl that Jackson was going to go in the first round. So.
Well, I think that's definitely going to happen now as draft stock has shot up. And the other cool thing that I saw this week over at the Rebel Walk, do you see Wesley Walls? He's going to be on the college football playoff committee.
Oh my gosh, isn't that fantastic? I think everybody at Ole Miss, breathed a sigh of relief, but I think, Lane Kiffin had a good point when he was talking about the committee and kind of some of those rankings last year, and he said, have any of those guys, because they were always, a lot of the
playing
Northeast
football
people, and he's like, have they ever been down south? Have they ever been to see what it is like to play a football game in the South on a Saturday night? And, some of these places you go in and get a win, and it is a big freaking deal. And so I think it's just wonderful that Ole Miss has Wesley Walls now on the committee. And Ole Miss made a new hire this week. They hired they lost DJ Mann, I think, went to A&M. he was a player personnel guy, and now Ole Miss hired Marvin Nash, and he is a former basically the same job, director of recruiting and personnel at Rice. And so he has got deep Texas ties, as did DJ Mann. So I think, as we talked about before, I think that's where a lot of this starts. I think that's why Ole Miss does so well in the portal. They have got people, recruiting and player personnel folks who are second to none. And Marvin Nash is one of those. We're going to have him, I believe, on our podcast coming up soon, so we'll let everybody know when that comes out.
And I know everybody over at the Rebel Walk is extremely busy. Spring's here. You got the women's SEC tournament going on, getting ready for the men's SEC tournament. Spring football is right around the corner. You got the NFL draft, Jackson Dart and all them boys looking good. Baseball, like everything right now is looking absolutely wonderful down in Oxford. If you love the Rebels, the number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information. It's pretty simple. Just go to therebelwalk.com. Follow them on Twitter at The Rebel Walk. And check out the YouTube page and subscribe. Evie, what y'all got coming down the pipe?
Well, we will have a wrap-up tonight after the Mississippi State game against the women. We'll be previewing the upcoming men's game against Florida. Don't count those Rebels out. Don't count those Rebels out against the Gators. I don't know why. I got a little feeling there. And, of course, we'll keep everybody posted with what's happening with all the latest NFL draft kind of talk. And then, of course, baseball. We've got baseball coming up, starting tomorrow. So here we go.
Yes, I love this time of year. Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Everybody's like, I do love the months. Like September, October, November, December. They're bad for my liver, but I love all the football. But, man, once the weather starts getting better, you forget how much you love spring because you got baseball, you got basketball, and then football never. It's 24/7, 365.
It really is. March 18th is the beginning of spring practice for Ole Miss football. So Lane Kiffin will have his boys out there, and we'll get a first chance to see what
Austin Simmons.
Oh man, cannot wait. And I want to see Dejon Stribling. He will be wearing the number 1 jersey, transfer wide receiver. Really looking forward to him. If you come in and you take that number 1 jersey,
stud.
You mean business. Yeah, you mean business. So excited to see him. I think Austin Simmons and Caden Lee could do big things this coming year. I think that's going to be a deadly combo. Jackson Dart talked about Austin Simmons at the Combine and just said he has an elite arm. He has an elite arm, and, he's going to step in and just pick up where we left off. And I thought that was high praise coming from Jackson. So.
I love that little Ole Miss love right there. Passing the torch. And I'm telling you, I think you're 100% going to see Austin also at the next level.
Oh, I do too. I absolutely do. He is. I had a chance when he very first got to Ole Miss, his very first.
You were there when he was a little baby, and he was 17 years old on campus.
Baby. And I had a Zoom interview with him, and I was just struck by. His time management, he's like, he was telling me all about his schedule and that he was used to, because he graduated 2 years early, he was used to, being focused and taking care of business. So he is going to TCB this coming season.
I love it. Evie, thank you so much for your time. Tell David I said what up. We'll do it again next Thursday.
Sounds good. Have a great weekend.
That is my friend Evie Van Pelt from the Rebel Walk, your number 1 source for all things Ole Miss sports information. We are going to take a time out because I got some good wood for you, but I do want to remind you, man, if you're hungry, it's simple. Summer and Graham, Los Cabos, flavors of Mexico, melting in your mouth. And it's 10 to 3 daily where you get those lunch specials. And then the happiest hours at Los Cabos are 3 to 8. That's a happy hour right there. Check out Los Cabos for also, $5.50 premium shots of tequila all day long, all day strong. If you want them flavors of Mexico to melt in your mouth, there's just one place to go. Los Cabos at Summer and Graham. Back into Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sunrise is a state of mind. Sunrise on Jefferson and Sunrise East on Poplar aren't just the best places in Memphis to get a hot, fresh breakfast or lunch. Both Sunrise locations are places where you can relax and forget about everything outside. You can sit, eat, have a drink, look at the original folk art, maybe make a friend or two. Sunrise doesn't mean you have to get up at sunrise. Sunrise doesn't mean you have to constantly be in a rush. Sunrise means you should be able to go where the employees care about you and not your politics. Plus, really good biscuits.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PHIL25 for 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL25 for 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PHIL25.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director of Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 912-715-5199.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Whoa! It is a thirsty Thursday. You know, man, it makes me think about one thing. When I'm thirsty, I always think about just the best, and that's Tito's. Tito's handmade vodka is straight up fire. It's USA vodka, baby. USA. Whenever you want to kind of lighten up the mood, sit back or relax, unwind and enjoy some hoops, always think Tito's. Check out Tito's.com for like recipes and more. And don't forget, Tito's is vodka for dogs. One other note, by the way, like, you know, like people out there, days like this, like, you know what, it's spring. People are like, I need to start cleaning things. Some people are like, you know what, I'm ready to move. I'm going to either get up on out of here or I'm going to head on over here. And if you're thinking about selling your house, buying a new house, and if you think to yourself that maybe it could be a little stressful, let me tell you, it's not. All you have to do is check out Margie O'Neill. She's at RE/MAX Experts, baby. You can go to margie.o'neill at remax.net or give her a call, 901-685-6000. Your new home. Make it easy with Margie O'Neill. You want to go to Hardwood?
This is Access Hardwood.
I'd say that's a yes.
Oh, no, dude. Bro Bible.
Yes.
Dude. They trying to make me, like, charge for the Bro Bible?
Charge you for it?
Whoa, I pay enough in all these damn fees, yo. Like, how, you know how many stupid subscriptions I got? I won't even get that Rocket Money thing on my phone because I don't want
Oh, yeah, the one that tells you, yeah. I
don't want it.
downloaded the app, but I didn't go all the way through
Like,
with it.
man, I'm just like, bro, like, this is going to take, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I'm crazy.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I got every holy-ish package when it comes to sports. I got every stupid streaming service because you got to have them all now because they've strong-armed you. And, you know, of course, you have to have the Athletic, $1 a month, and they got a couple other subscriptions. ESPN Plus to read all their good stuff behind their paywall. Like, damn. And now Bro Bible's going to do this to me. What's next? They're going to start charging it like Pornhub? Like, literally, what's going on in this world? No, I'm just kidding. Do they charge over there, by the way?
No, they don't let you get it in Mississippi. You know, they blocked it. So
Nuh-uh.
you cannot get that stuff in Mississippi, dude.
Dude, did you know you can't gamble in Mississippi on your phone?
You can't gamble it either. So you can't get your Pornhub or your gamble on.
Damn, I love me, though, some Mississippi, though. Mississippi. I love it. But like that just shocks me. I just now went to open up my Bro Bible, and it says, become a member today for $4.99 a month. Now, of course, $4.99 doesn't sound like nothing, does it? Like, $4.99. But damn it, when you got 55 of them. Now I don't even know if I can talk about anything else. I'm just so agitated right now about damn Bro Bible. Like, bro, I'm a bro. I need my Bible.
Once it's $4.99 a month from you.
Damn, dude. Like, you can't give it away free forever and then charge, man. Ask any married woman. You know what I'm saying?
I love it how you say you don't want the rocket because you don't want to know.
Oh, I don't. You know, ignorance is bliss, man.
Absolutely.
Like, it really is. But damn it, now, I'm agitated. Speaking of ignorance being bliss, you know what else is crazy?
What you got?
How you change over the years.
Going from dark hair to gray hair like that?
No, I ain't no woman, man. I'm not like... Are you talking about my hair?
How about our hair?
Oh, going gray?
Yeah.
Man, gray's sexy. What you talking about?
I know, a little salt and pepper action, right?
Man. But the reason I bring that up, because again, I was thinking about now I got to pay for like Bro Bible, got to pay for everything. Also, when you get older, have you noticed like a 6 and a 7 when you get like close to 50 is now a 9 or a 10? Have you noticed how that happens?
Easily happens.
How'd that happen? Like, why didn't you let me like have this vision when I was a younger feller? Because I would have definitely had a lot more fun. I wouldn't have been so picky. I'd have eaten at the buffet a little more often. Like, why you give this to me in my old age? Like, I say ignorance is bliss. Also, being half blind and just willing, like again, you look at a solid 6 these days and you be like,
Little shallow Hal action.
Yes, it's just, that's it. Now, that's exactly, like, old dude, when he hit like 60, he was like, damn, I just realized something. Now that I'm old, I ain't ever seen a woman that I thought wasn't smoking hot.
Till you wake up in the morning.
Like, you go to a funeral and you're like, damn, old girl looks pretty good.
Yeah, a little shallow Hal action. That's all.
Oh, that'd be actually terrible, man.
It would be.
No. I'm talking about, I want those goggles.
Oh, you want them? Oh,
Ignorance
okay.
is bliss. Are you kidding me? Like, dude, I'd have them 600-pound sisters over at my crib, carrying them around on my arm, being, look what I got. If I see them is like a 10, I don't care what reality is.
600-pound sisters from the TV show.
Yeah, dude.
Carrying them around.
I'd be like, yo, check it out. I'm dating sisters, bro. Y'all be looking at them like 1,200 pounds, and you'll be like, and I'm looking at them like together. Like, are you kidding me?
They be in Los Cabos just tearing.
We be tearing up some damn... Man, I'd be like, girls, I don't even know where you put that food. Have a little Jay over there, rolling little joints. Like, he be looking at them all crazy as much as they eat. And it's a good thing if I was at Los Cabos, because, again, if they had, like, 3 lunches, it's like only, like, 7 to 11 for each lunch. I mean, I'm still getting in there under $40 with a tip, baby.
They'd eat twice, though, Joe. They'd eat lunch and dinner. Got to give them some dinner to go, right?
Yeah. By the way, one other thing that just had me thinking. So, I have a friend who, like, she's a very, very nice, cool person, okay? Like, she's a cool chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd like you. I want to hang out with her all the time because she's cool. Like, she likes lettuce. the devil's lettuce. She doesn't mind sports and gambling. I don't have to act like, you know what I mean? Like, she's
like a
kinda,
female Kevin Durant.
She's just a cool chick. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's a great one. She's like a female KD. And she was talking to me the other day because, like, again, like, you know how, like, when you're a female, like, when you get into, like, you're cool with the dudes, like, they don't look at you the same. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, all of a sudden, they're not trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to think of a very, very easy way to put it out there, but I couldn't. But you know what I mean? And she was telling me that now she's got on this online dating. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know which one she's on, but
I don't either.
She's probably
man.
on Christian
Like,
Mingle.
No, dog. She ain't like pulling. Like, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Like, that's a great place to start if you're looking for probably a good husband who's not going to cheat on you and stuff. That's probably the first place I'd go if I was a woman, actually. Like, you want him to have a job, you want him to tide, you want him to be nice and all them things. That's kind of genius.
Because you don't want to go on Tinder. Tinder is kind of...
No, Tinder is straight up boot, take,
ratchet.
call, and Grindr. I've heard of it. They have a thing called Grindr. Have you ever heard of that one?
Yeah, go Christian. Go Christian Mingle.
Christian Mingle's a good one. They got all kinds of them. Didn't they have that one where you had, like, answer fitted questions before they put you on it? What was that one? It was real popular back in the day.
Jenny Craig, I don't know.
Jenny Craig, yeah, you have to answer like
a lot of questions for Jenny Craig back in the day.
But my point is, she went out with this, like, she's been going on dates, and she's like, dude, you have no idea how terrible it is dating, like, men these days. And I'm like, well, you have no idea how terrible it is women. You know, you're getting a little bit of a little match, you know what I'm saying, back and forth. But then she did tell me, and this was, like, the craziest thing. And I told her, you run. She went to a fine dining restaurant here in Memphis. Like a $300 to $400 meal. You know what I'm saying? She said that it was awesome until the end of the night. She really, really liked him. She thought he was good looking. She's like, so that therefore, you know, like, she probably would have given him, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, like, because I know her, it's been a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like somebody needs to get out there. It's kind of, you know what I'm saying, when it's that time to dust.
Got to change your oil, John.
Yeah, you got to change the oil every once in a while, or you're going to lose it. So, like, I feel like he had a really good shot. Like, I mean, I'm not saying 100%, but I'd say like 95. Except for this. Listen to this. Like, dude, he went through the whole meal, picked her up, paid for a fat meal. Like, she's in like Flynn. Like, she gonna give it, and then he doesn't tip. And she goes, wait a second, did you just... You're not tipping the waiter? He goes, no, man, it ain't my job to pay their salary. And she said, like, that put her off so bad it freaked her out that she had to... She kind of did the thing that I did. Did I ever tell you about, like, the worst dining experience I ever had?
No.
I went on, like, don't even want to get here, but it was terrible. But, like,
I hear about it.
I had to go back and, like, give the server money after they paid for everything because they did something like this. So I told her, whatever you do, I'm glad you didn't, like, drop that off. And I'm glad, and whatever you do, don't go out with him again because that dude's a psychopath. You know what I mean? Like, what grown man doesn't know that they pay servers like $2 an hour? What grown-ass person, period, doesn't know that you tip people at a restaurant? And especially if you go to a fine dining restaurant and you willing to drop $3 on a meal, but you can't, like, drop off, like, at least $85 for homie on a minimum, in my opinion. Like, that's me, though. Like, at least... Then you like just a shallow person. So I'm glad she didn't do that. But is that person a psychopath? Like, am I taking it too bad? Like, because I feel like anybody done tip.
No, you're not wrong. But taking it from a person that worked in that world for 18 years, there is honestly people out there that think that they're just supposed to pay the bill and go home. They don't mean any harm. They
don't know.
They don't know.
That would
just
be
don't
like,
know.
so that means
they
that
just, they don't go out often.
Waited on somebody with an IQ under
Correct.
60 or something.
Correct. They just don't know. It's some people that now there are some people that are malicious about it. Like, I ain't tipping regardless. Those are the ones that are psychos.
Malicious.
Like, yeah. Those are the ones
he
that are
knows,
psycho.
but he's not doing it. Ain't
That's
his
the
job.
psycho.
I'm
That's
like, you're
the psycho.
a lunatic.
That's the psycho. But if you take someone to fine dining for the first time, they may get a little like, oh, I'm supposed to leave $60. Like, you'll get that every now and again, depending on who the folk you go with. But the psycho is, if he knew better, that's the psycho.
And I bring that up because I don't know why. I guess I've just been talking about experiences and deep thoughts today on Hardwood. Because I feel sorry for old girl, man. I wish you luck. There ain't that many good dudes out there. I think it's just me and D, man.
How about she just teach them? Can she not teach them?
I got a question for you. Honestly, I got a question. Are you ready for this?
Go for it.
You ever think that there's actually a woman that can change a man? Do you ever, like, every single woman gets in a relationship and her first thing is she's going to try and fix everything. You can't fix us. We are broken. We are born broken. We will stay broken. We will have a little contrition here and there. And we'll do a little good sprinkled in here and there. But, look, we're broken. You can't change us.
If the engine was malfunctioning and she needed said oil change, she should have left the money and got the oil change.
Oh, all right. Yeah, but yeah, I guess.
And then talk later.
Harmony was the one with 100 questions. Great job, Texter.
Okay.
But again, I feel bad for her, and then I also realize like how hard it is actually to be a woman.
Harmony.
Because like here's I guess the mentality of a man, and here's what I'm saying about this. Like we get older. 6s and 7s are now 9s and 10s. Like our dating pool is enormous. Do you realize?
Yeah.
It like becomes every woman. Like with a pulse.
Correct.
So that's Gucci. The older women get, they're more picky. And it just reminded me of that like one great piece of advice. You have the old bull and the young bull. And they're sitting at the top of the hill. They just get up to the top, and when they come over to the top, they look down, and there is like 5,000 cows down there. And the young bull says to the old bull, let's run down this hill and get with one of them. And the old bull looks over at the young bull and says, no, son, let's walk down there and get them all. And that's what happens with a man as he gets older.
I get it. If you run down there, you scare him, right?
Man,
I guess, right?
Why run?
Okay.
You don't need to run for one when you can walk and get it all.
Walk tall. Okay.
Because you going to. But anyway, I guess that was Hardwood, and I didn't get into any of my little stories on my card. Okay. You know what it was? I will call that very good edible hitting at the right time on a beautiful thirsty Thursday. Don't y'all dare touch the dial. We got to gamble. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
Corky's Barbecue. Cooking it up. Down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. With over 175,000 cars served in our drive-thru, 4,000 online pickup orders, and 50
Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. Man, I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. And Darren, you better make sure we get out on time over there, man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But I got to give y'all a little something. I got a bet for you, man. Last night, Gator Boys were Gucci. Love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Got another game that I really do like. So, UAB. You remember that great game that the Tigers had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That was down in Birmingham, Alabama. Like, UAB is back at their house at the Bartow Arena tonight. They got a bad taste in their mouth. You know what I mean? Tigers went in there and whipped them. Yaxel lost his little award. I feel like UAB comes out tonight, and right now it is 5.5. I love it. I don't think Florida Atlantic is very good. UAB already beat Florida Atlantic and had, I felt, a very poor night shooting by 5 on the road. You got an FAU team lipping in here to play UAB. Let me just tell you something. Andy Kennedy's going to have them boys lit. Yaxel's going to be crazy. Lay the points. We had a lot of doggies come in lately. I mean, A&M was a dog against Auburn. Florida was a dog against Auburn. Ole Miss was a dog against Tennessee. Maryland was a dog against Michigan. We got doggies barking. BYU was a big dog against Iowa State. I mean, the dogs have been barking this week. I've been taking a lot of them doggies. Now I think we got a little favorite action right here. The Blazers come out, punch Florida Atlantic in the face. Bartow Arena's bumping. And, like, what do you do down in Birmingham after you have a big win? What do you think they do? They go cow tipping?
Probably so. That's the best I can think of.
Man, what do you do in Birmingham? I don't know. I've been to Birmingham. I've partied a few times. I saw some good shows in Birmingham. Saw some really damn good shows in Birmingham, actually. I don't know. But I will tell you one thing. Whatever they're doing, they're celebrating because UAB's going to beat the brakes off of Florida Atlantic. Lay the 5.5. Get it now because it's not going down. Man. Now, one other thing I got to tell you. It is technically, we're like now, what, 36 hours into our 48-hour Friday? I'm guessing, actually. I could do math, but I'm not doing it. Told you that dead gum edible is just delicious. But, man, when we're like this close, like it's Friday, you can taste the weekend. We got all kinds of, the season's going to close out tomorrow for the Tigers. Like all kinds of good stuff. We're 10 days away from Selection Sunday. Start stacking your pad. Take the Blazers, lay the 5.5, and head over to Los Cabos and enjoy a little tequila 550 premium shots. For Darian Newsom, I'm John Harden. That's my time. Peace.
Tiger Nation, Memphis men's basketball returns to FedEx Forum Friday, March 7th at 8 when the Tigers welcome South Florida to Bluff City for their season finale. It's